Hello everyone, the Bounty Hunter has now been added to the public test server for Star Wars The Old Republic. We're testing the new combat styles for the Bounty Hunter for 7.0, the upcoming expansion. The developers are looking for feedback on how the new trees for the Powertech and the Mercenary look. They're looking for player feedback on the SWTOR.com forums. So I'm going to be going through the trees and showing you what they now look like. So I've boosted this character up to level 80, this Powertech. And the Powertech has the Shield Tech, the Pyrotech, and the Advanced Prototype disciplines. Just the same as the regular server, but what's different now is these new trees that you can switch between. Just so we're on the same page, any abilities that are just base to the Powertech, for the most part, you still have them all, but they are not listed on this tree. The only thing that shows up on this tree is something either that is a choice that you make, or it is something that is specific to your discipline. So for example, Shield Tech, Pyrotech, and Advanced Prototype. The Trooper is not available for testing right now, so the Vanguard and the Commando, but it's assumed once these are tested and the developers have completed their feedback on them, it will be copied over to the Commando and the Vanguard as well. So if you want to test the Trooper, instead, test the Bounty Hunter and give your feedback there. So let's take a look at some of these choices. So the big choice for all three classes is going to be at level 70, just like all the other classes will be. The big choice for the Powertech is the first choice is Shield Cannon. This is a passive ability. It's not when you click. So you've got an ability called Shoulder Cannon. It shoots out some missiles. You already have that. And this passive choice will make it heal 3% of your total health for each missile. Is called Shield Cannon. So it's a defensive healing choice. The second choice at level 70 is Hydraulic Overrides. Many of the other classes have had to make choices when it comes to their movement-based abilities, and the Powertech is by no means safe from that choice. So Hydraulic Overrides, which is known as Hold the Line on the Trooper side, is a choice at level 70. It lets you move fast, and it also lets you not be knocked down or stunned in place when you have it active, so it's very useful for a lot of cases. The last choice at level 70 is Electro Dart. So your 4-second stun, that would be Cryo Grenade on the Republic side. So you're choosing between Shoulder Cannon healing, Hydraulic Override to go fast, or your 4-second stun. Now I'm going to go through the entire tree. And a lot of the trees are very similar between the three classes, or the three disciplines this time for the Powertech. You'll notice that mostly the only thing that changes is the lower end choices. Like the top little block isn't changing at all. So here we go for the tank. So at level 10, you'll pick up Firestorm and Energy Yield just from the get-go. And at level 15, you'll get a choice of 3 different passives that will affect Firestorm. Unfortunately, as we're very cranky about, these passives are not properly labeled on the test server right now. They don't really have any information about them, and at the time of making this video, the developers haven't posted about it yet, so we're hoping for more information in the future. So at level 15, you'll have a choice of 3 different passive abilities. Maybe one's not passive, I'm not sure. It's a bit unclear, they seem a little broken. That will affect Firestorm in some way. At level 20, you'll have the choice of Second Contract, where Grapple gets 2 charges and finishes the cooldown of Rocket Punch and Flaming Fist. The second choice is something that's not listed. Kind of looks like Grapple Hook, but I'm not sure. And the third choice is Translocate. So if you ever wanted Translocate to be off your bars, because it's pretty useless, well, it's a level 20 choice now. So basically, you'll be choosing between extra charges of Grapple, a mystery ability, and trolling your friends. Level 25, you'll pick up Heat Blast, and at level 30, you'll be able to choose between 3 different things that will affect Heat Blast. So unfortunately, once again, the test server was not as enlightening as we thought it would be. and we don't actually get to know what those are. We're hoping we'll hear more about those in the future. At level 35, oh boy, you get to choose between a passive. You get to choose between reactive missile. When receiving redirected damage from guard, the cooldown on sonic missile is decreased by 2 seconds. This effect can only occur once every 3 seconds. And your last choice is stealth scan. Fires off probes that scan the area for stealth opponents. Mostly only useful for PvP. It's going to be kind of an interesting choice when we learn the third option. So at level 40, I'm sorry, I'm a little cranky that these aren't labeled. It looks kind of like your leap, but I'm not sure. It doesn't have a name or a description. At level 50, you'll be able to choose between 3 different options. So the first one's called Pyro Shield. When activated, your energy shield ignites in a blaze, scorching attackers for 3,000 or whatever elemental damage when they deal direct damage to you. So it's a offensive ability when a defensive ability is on. So second is Gyroscopic Alignment Jets. You vent 20 heat when stunned, immobilized, and knocked down or otherwise incapacitated. And your next tech ability deals 10% extra damage or healing. And lastly, Iron Will reduces the cooldown of Determination by 30 seconds and cooldown of Hydraulic Overrides by 10 seconds. Oh, interesting. So this one can be affecting Hydraulic Overrides even if you didn't choose Hydraulic Overrides up here, but you'd still get that Determination cooldown. So what's interesting is this choice is these used to be in utilities, and now they're part of this new tree here. So at level 55, you get Oil Slick. And at level 60, you've got another choice to make. So the first choice is Reflective Armor. When close and personal is triggered, it will also deal elemental damage to the attacker. So kind of, once again, one of those weird do damage if your defensive is going. Second is Hitman, and it reduces the cooldown of Quell by 2 seconds. Additionally, damage taken while stunned is reduced by 30% for Shield Tech, and damage taken from area effects is reduced by 30% for Pyrotech and Advanced Prototype. So you may recognize these as passives again. And last is Suppressive Tools. Magnetic Blast, Flame Burst, and Flame Sweep reduce the movement speed of affected targets by 25% for 3 seconds. Additionally, Neural Darts slows the target by 50% for 6 seconds. So that's your level 60 choice. Your level 70 choice, as mentioned, is Shoulder Cannon being healing, Hydraulic Overrides to go fast, or your 4-second stun. And at level 80, so you've got first choice is Enhanced Paralytics. Increase the stun duration of Electro Dart by 1 second and Carbonize by 0.5 seconds. So it's interesting. Once again, Electro Dart is a choice. This choice is kind of meaningless if you didn't choose Electro Dart, I guess. Second option at level 80 is Sonic Rebounder. Sonic Missile protects all friendly targets in its area of impact, excluding you, granting Sonic Rebounder, which reflects the next direct single target attack back at the attacker. So especially as a tank, though other Powertechs and Vanguards use this as well, this utility was very frequently chosen and is kind of considered one of the really best utilities in the Vanguard or the Bounty Hunters, or sorry, the Vanguard or the Powertech's tool deck right now in the utility system. So this is going to be a very strong choice. And the last choice is allows Kolto Overload to be activated while stunned and causes Kolto Overload to purge stun effects when activated. This will not work against other types of incapacitating effects or scripted stuns, like in flashpoints and operations. In addition, increases the range of grapple and shoulder cannon by 10 meters and eliminates the heat generated by Electro Dart and Carbonize. So that one's just got a ton of different stuff. So basically, if you're doing an operation, you probably would be choosing between these two. And I'm curious what winds up being the choice du jour. So there you go. That's your tank. That's what your Vanguard tank would look like. That's what your Powertech tank would look like for level 80. And if you want to give feedback on this, go to the SWTOR.com forums for the test forums. You can either test this out yourself, which I recommend the most. But if you're just looking at this and you want to give feedback based on this video, you can give feedback. Make sure you say you didn't actually test it out yourself, and basically you saw the info online instead. Okay, next step. Let's check out our Pyrotech. So first off, your Pyrotech. At level 10, you're going to get Thermal Yield and Flaming Fist, pretty much same as before. And at level 15, you're going to get a choice that's related to Flaming Fist. It will change it in some way. Once again, though, what? Only one of them's broken. Cool. So one of them's a mystery. The first option is Primed Ignition. Flaming Fist leaves traces of ignition fuel on the target, causing your next immolate to deal 10% more damage. Second, Open Flame. Flaming Fist deals damage up to 4 enemies within 10 meters of the primary target. And lastly, Mystery. So basically, it makes your Flaming Fist become either... It makes Immolate stronger, or it makes it a AoE attack, a area attack for multiple enemies, or Mystery. I guess we'll find that out later. At level 20, you'll have another choice. The first one is a missing one again, unfortunately. The second option at level 20 is Second Contract. Grapple gets 2 charges and finishes the cooldown of Rocket Punch and Flaming Fist. And the last one is Jet Charge. Jet to a distant target, dealing damage. Okay, so that's super interesting on the tank tree. Although we can't quite see it for sure, it looks like Jet Charge is something you get automatically at level 40. But if you're a Pyrotech, Jet Charge is something you would choose at level 20, and you would choose it over whatever this is. This might be your grapple hook, though it says it's a passive, so maybe not. Or making your grapple hook stronger, or being able to leap to your target. So next up, level 25, you get your Incendiary Missile. At level 30, you've got a choice again. And that level 30 choice affects your Incendiary Missile in some way. So the first option is Mandalorian Warhead. Fires a missile that explodes on contact, igniting the target for a big chunk of elemental damage and an additional elemental damage over 15 seconds. The second option at level 30 is Primed Rail Shot. When you deal damage with Incendiary Missile, your next Rail Shot applies Burning Shot, dealing elemental damage over 12 seconds. This effect can only occur once every so-and-so seconds, 10 seconds. Lastly, your choice at 30 is another mystery one. Looks like some missiles in the icon. The icons are very deceptive. They reused a lot of icons just because this is the testing phase. They may redraw them later. Some look like they might actually be abilities, but they're actually passives related to that ability. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess. At 35, you get another choice. So the first choice at level 35 is Boiling Point. When activating Kolto Overload, you gain Boiling Point. This allows your next Thermal Yield to gain an additional stack and return damage to attackers, or your next Sonic Missile will heal allies and grant you 10% damage reduction. The next level 35 option is Chilled Retribution. When activating Energy Shield, you gain 25% movement speed and immunity from incapacitating effects for 6 seconds. In addition, when taking damage from direct attacks, your cooldown on Carbonize is reduced by 2 seconds. This can occur once every 3 seconds. And your last level 35 choice is Stealth Scan. So you can look for stealth enemies. That's going to be a weird one to make. I'm very curious if Stealth Scan will either become useless or become like the choice, because PvP, it is always been a PvP focused move, and stealthing is something that happens a lot in PvP. So we'll see how it goes between these other choices here. Level 40, Immolate. Sprays the target with fuel and ignites it into a fireball that deals elemental damage. Oh, that one you already get. Immolate's one you normally already get. And then at 50, you get another choice. And this is where things start to get very similar again. Very, very similar to what we talked about earlier. So your pyro shield doing damage from your energy shield, gyroscopic alignment jets where you vent heat when stunned, or iron will, which reduces the cooldown of determination or makes hydraulic override last longer. At 55, you'll pick up Scorch, much like you did before. And then level 60, same thing. You've got your choice between Reflective Armor, which will deal damage from your defensive, Hitman, which reduces the cooldown of your Quell. Is that one the same? Yeah, reduces the cooldown of Quell. And additionally, damage taken while stunned is reduced 30% for Shield Tech. And damage taken from area effects is reduced by 30% for Pyrotech. And that's where we're at. So reduced area damage reduced by 30. And lastly, suppressive tools. Magnetic Blast, Flame Burst, and Flame Sweep reduce the movement speed of targets. And Neural Dart slows the target by 50%. So you'll make that same heavy level 70 choice. So your shoulder cannon becomes a healing move, your hydraulic overrides, or your 4-second stun at level 70. And then at level 80, same choice again. Increases the stun duration of Electro Dart by 1 second and Carbonize by 0.5 seconds. Sonic Rebounder, or Efficient Suit, which does a whole bunch of stuff with the Kolto Overload, which lets you use it while you're stunned. Okay, let's take a look at our final one, Advanced Prototype. So Advanced Prototype, same thing. A lot of the choices at the top of the tree are the same. So at level 10, you'll pick up... I don't know what this is. Is this Power Yield or something else? And your Energy Burst, much like you did before. So at level 15, you'll have a choice that will affect Energy Burst. So the first option is Power Burst. Energy Burst grants your Power Burst, increasing the damage of Flame Burst or Thermal Detonator by 5% per energy load. Max Stacks grants a 20% damage increase to Flame Burst or Thermal Detonator. So it's one of those ones that helps you combine it with other abilities, Flame Burst in this case, or Thermal Detonator. The second option to change Energy Burst is a mystery. It's not up on the test server for some reason. And then lastly, it's Lingering Heat is your third choice. Energy Burst applies a burn, dealing elemental damage over 12 seconds. At level 20, you get another choice. At level 20, your first option is Second Contract. Grapple gets 2 charges and finishes the cooldown of Rocket Punch and Flaming Fist. Jet Charge, so your leap is the second option at 20. And Reel and Rattle. Grapple deals tech damage, like a chunk of tech damage, and pull targets and grants Reel and Rattle, causing your next Rocket Punch or Flaming Fist against the pulled targets to deal 20% additional kinetic damage and stun the target. So once again, the shield tech seems like they might get their leap automatically, but for the Advanced Prototype, the leap is a choice that you make at level 20. So at level 25, you pick up your Retractable Blade, your knife. And at level 30, you get to choose between 3 abilities that will affect your knife. So the first option is Retracted Refresh. When the bleed effect from Retractable Blade is refreshed, you deal additional damage to 4 targets within 5 meters. So it makes it a AoE attack. Second is Jugular. When the bleed effect from Retractable Blade is refreshed, the target takes bonus kinetic damage. And lastly, at level 30 is Easy Prey. When refreshing the bleed effect of Retractable Blade, you gain a stack of Easy Prey. Each stack increases the damage done by your next initial hit with Retractable Blade. So level 35, another choice again. So the first one is a passive. It looks like a guy blowing a flamethrower, but we don't know what it is. Second is a green guy and a shield. You guys probably know what this is. I don't play the Bounty Hunter as much. I'm a trooper girl. And the last is Stealth Scan. So Stealth Scan is also a choice for Advanced Prototype at level 35. Okay, at level 40, you pick up your Thermal Detonator, same as before. Level 50, you've got the same choices as the other disciplines. Pyro Shield, which makes your energy shield do damage. Gyroscopic Alignment Jets is the second option. You vent 20 heat when stunned. And level 50 choice is Iron Will. reduces the cooldown of determination by 30 seconds and cooldown of hydraulic override by 10 seconds. It's gonna be so weird. You're like a brand new level 50 and you're like, should I choose this one? I don't even have hydraulic overrides yet as an option. Okay, level 55. Magnetic Blast is something you'll just pick up like normal. At level 60, you'll have that same choice as the other disciplines. You'll get Reflective Armor, where you do damage from your shield. Hitman reduces the cooldown of Quell and damage taken while stunned. Oh, sorry. For the advanced prototype, it will be damage taken from area effects is reduced by 30%. Or lastly, Suppressive Tools, where Magnetic Blast, Flame Burst, and Flame Sweep reduce the movement speed of affected targets, and Neural Dart slows the target by 50% for 6 seconds. Level 70, that same really hard choice. Shoulder Cannon becomes passively a healing ability, Hydraulic Overrides, or your 4-second stun. You have to choose between those three. And lastly, at level 80, you choose between Enhanced Paralytics, increases the stun duration of Electro Dart by 1 second and Carbonize by 0.5 seconds, Sonic Rebounder, or Efficient Suit, which allows Colto Overload to be activated while stunned, and a bunch of other stuff. So there you go. We're still missing a lot of data, unfortunately, about the Powertech, and unfortunately the Mercenaries in the same boat where we have these strange passives that are just missing information. And we unfortunately will have to wait for the developers to post more about that. The test server for the Bounty Hunter was put up on a Friday, so we're assuming that unfortunately that probably won't be till later in the week, but we can cross our fingers. If we find out more, I'll try and post it in the comments below and link you towards the missing info. I hope you enjoyed this super ridiculously in-depth look at the Powertech on the public test server, and I hope that's helped you kind of learn what's maybe coming up, or maybe helped you give some feedback even if you aren't able to hop on the test server yourself. I'll see you guys later. Visit Swtorista.com/support if you want to show your support for these types of videos, or subscribe to this channel if you want more Star Wars The Old Republic videos to show up on your YouTube homepage. Bye!